Gamescom 2025, and we've only done played it.
I played a full 20 minutes.
I played a full 10 minutes. We still got to play some Silksong, and that's more than a lot of people have done so far. So how did you find it?
I thought it was great. This is going to sound like, oh, it's more Hollow Knight. It is more Hollow Knight, but with some tweaks that I liked. I really liked the first game, but I feel like this one, from the very small amount I played, maybe could edge it, thanks to some tweaks that I like to see from some action games. Like, I like it when they encourage aggression, and that's what Hollow Knight did in the first place. It encouraged you to hit, to get health back, and this one kind of takes that to the next level, I think, and really does kind of, encourage quick attacking play, and that's what I like to see from the combat game. Combat of this game is only really half it, because what I really love about Hollow Knight is exploring and just how beautiful the game is to just wander around in with that music. And yeah, did you cry at all, Ian, playing the game?
I cried, but only because the boss I was fighting kicked my butt multiple times. Because the thing with this demo is there are two sections you can choose from. It's Moss Grove,
and Deep Docks.
And Deep Docks. Now, Moss Grove is the easy one to play, and Deep Docks is the hard one to play. I chose the hard one, which was a massive mistake, because I actually haven't played Hollow Knight since it released. So all my Hollow Knight muscle memory had completely gone. Deep Docks is a nice maze-like level with some really cool noises, echoing bells and crunching exploding rocks as you hit them. It's very atmospheric, and the exploration part is really cool. I found some nice secret areas, a little bit with some lore that I didn't understand, which will probably, YouTube lore junkies will love to unpack when they play it. But as soon as I got to the boss fight, which was with a character called Lace, which was about the same size as Hornet. I was just brutalized over and over again, and I could feel the eyes of people behind me who were queuing for like an hour on my back, just like, this guy's terrible. It nearly drove me to tears.
I gave it one go, save myself the embarrassment, but Lace is cool, really cool design. Like you said, like Hornet, like balletic movements, really like flurries of combo attacks, very quick. Take a little time to master, I imagine, which we simply did not have. But yeah, I actually played Moss Grove, which is, I'm pretty sure, the opening level of the game. Opens with a cutscene, and it sort of dropped into this sort of, that you'd expect, mossy place as Hornet. And it really is, like I said, the Hollow Knight muscle memory kicked in for me. It takes things back to basics. You can jump, you can hit. That's about all you can do at that point. And yeah, I beat that boss, who was called the Moss Mother.
The Moss Mother.
Yeah, she didn't give me any boss bother, I tell you. But yes, did that first time, but very simple, very easy. Lace, no chance. Probably an even tougher boss in that area we didn't seem to see yet. But like I said, it's got, from what I saw, what I love about Hollow Knight, which is really like that balance between floaty and precision jumping platform that I love. And you can also mantle now on the edge of platforms, which made a huge difference. I know some people, maybe platforming isn't that thing, so this will make it a little bit easier for them. But yeah, I don't know. I really thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought Hornet controlled really well, slightly differently to the Knight. A bit floatier, I think, and also like kind of double the size. I don't know whether, like, if double the size is the right size, but I only ever played Hollow Knight in handheld mode on the Switch.
I get that.
So to play on the big screen, Hornet felt like a much bigger character.
I feel like it's an interesting coincidence. Almost, like I said, this game feels like you're on the front foot more, and that kind of builds into that visual design. In the first game, the character a lot smaller. It feels like you are kind of fighting for your life in every big boss battle, trying to survive. Whereas this one, you can take it to them more. And that visual design, you don't dominate the frame. You're still quite small. You're an insect, but you're a bigger insect. You're not an ant. You're a hornet.
Yeah. That's what you are.
Yeah.
But you also have like some new attacks. There's like a kunai throw you can do, right?
And I like doing that a lot because it put me out of harm's way. But also I like that it's now divorced from the health meter. You don't have to, in the first horror, you had to choose, am I going to heal or am I going to use the force power ability, something like that. And in this one, you can just heal, not whenever you want, you do need to build that white bar to full in order to heal, but it does heal you completely, which is nice. But yeah, the kunai, you kind of, I think, had 12 at the start of that level. Use them freely. I'm not quite sure how you get them back yet. Maybe you just have to rest.
Yeah.
But they were quite powerful. And yeah, can't wait to see what more they have up their sleeve, because I imagine this game is going to be sprawling, to say the least.
Yes, I reckon it will. And if it's anything like the original game, once you've completed it, there'll be even more to do afterwards. And all we really need to know now is the release date, and maybe we'll get to find that out
Very
in
soon.
the next day or two.
Yes, let's hope this video comes out before that announcement's made, otherwise we'll just look silly.
We will look silly,
Yeah.
but not as silly as I looked when I died like 5 times.
I was embarrassed for you.
Yeah, everyone was embarrassed for me.
Yeah.
So I'm quite interested to know why you chose Moss Grove over, like, the deep docks.
I like green.
like green?
I kind of, I thought it was on the left hand of the screen. That must be the one to do first.
Yeah,
So I thought,
fair enough.
No, and I was intrigued, but I felt like actually in the queue, because we were queuing for a good hour to play this game. A lot of people were playing the second one. I thought, I've got a good eye for that. I'm going to try the other one. And I liked it, like I said, very simple. There's probably more to it than we saw. But yeah, Deep Docks, I only spent 5 minutes in there. Didn't see a lot. But like I said, a lot of levers, a lot of elevators. Very maze-like you said. Yeah, I was already lost in there, and I spent like 3 minutes.
Yeah, so if Mossy Grove was more linear, would you say?
Yeah, it seemed that way. Not as many secrets hiding, maybe. It felt like a tutorial area, whereas Deep Docks, they probably go deep.
Deep Docks went super deep. In fact, I found a couple of elevators, went all the way down. As I said before, I found a secret area, and there was also like a mini, fight room where multiple enemies spawned.
I thought then there was some weird ones that seemed like they almost had pops on the head and they were chucking things at me. Like a really nice little round lad, which I actually quite liked him, but I had to kill him. He had like a little almost like saucepan lid as a shield.
Yeah, did like a little bouncing
I like that, but yeah, I was lost. I hope Cornifer's back. I need one of his maps. I really do need that.
Yeah, maps and, well, training is what I'm going to need.
Yes.
For definite.
And maybe therapy from how many people were looking at you.
Yeah, definitely therapy. Hopefully no one was recording it. And that's basically everything we experienced during our short time with Hollow Knight Silksong. But if you yourselves are coming along to Gamescom 2025 and want to play Silksong for yourselves, well, good luck. It's a long wait, so perhaps bring a chair. If you want to find out more about Hollow Knight Silksong, stay tuned to IGN.
Experience the sprawling metropolis of Hethro in NTE, Neverness to Everness, a free-to-play open-world RPG full of supernatural phenomena and anomalies. As a member of the Bureau of Anomaly Control, you'll use your Esper abilities to traverse the skylines and streets in search of enemies interrupting day-to-day life. Your roster of Bureau of Anomaly Control agents each have unique abilities to help them explore the city, capitalize on enemy weaknesses, and synergize to unleash devastating attacks. Pre-registration for NTE is open now. Let's take a look at the trailer for NTE.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math? great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow. Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
You are watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. It has been more than half a decade since Crimson Desert was first revealed, but next year players will finally get to set foot in the realm of Pywell in this epic-looking single-player RPG. Here to tell us what's in store, Leapy Park and Will Powers from Pearl Abyss. Welcome.
Thank you, Max.
Okay, so this is a beautiful-looking game. I think a lot of people were blown away by that initial reveal. At Gamescom, you're showing off this game in action properly, and it looks really fun. I want to know what's going on in this world and what's at stake here. Who are we? What are we doing?
Well, let's start by talking about what we're doing at Gamescom. Libby built the booth with her own two hands, so...
Yes, I did it. Alone, all by myself. Jokes, yes. Yeah, so the concept of the booth itself, if I start with our booth design, it was heavily inspired by the actual castle that exists within the build we are showing at the Gamescom this year. So this is the castle that you are actually going to have this final boss within the build. Final boss combat. And we wanted to, since the build, this hands-on build is pretty immersive enough, we wanted to actually drag out that immersiveness for the fans. So we tried our best to build this, the actual realistic enough looking castle.
You've got a tavern, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and the tavern. The tavern itself also exists, not the exact design, but also the concept of the tavern actually also exists in our game, so people can find out once we launch our game. So yeah, the focus and goal was immersiveness.
And so what we've shown up to this point has mostly been focused on combat. This build's really special because this is the first point where we're pulling back the curtain and showing what the plot of the game's about. You're getting your first chance to see the open world and kind of roam around in it. And players are seeing this for the first time. And what's so cool, you said the game's beautiful. Thank you, by the way. But everything you see is explorable. Anything you see, I get to do the Todd Howard thing. If you see it, you can go there. You can climb that mountain.
Nice. Now let's talk about who we're playing as. Who's the protagonist?
So that's Cliff. He is in a mercenary group called the Greymanes, who are fighting to have and bring back really safety to this continent of Pywell. They're in a struggle against an opposing faction called the Drunken Black Bears.
Okay, that sounds like a formidable foe, an inebriated Ursine. Yeah, I want to talk about Black Desert Online has maybe the most impressive character creator I've ever seen in a game. What was behind the decision to have a bespoke protagonist here, and I guess how much customization will players have over him, outfits, abilities, skills, all that?
So, thank you, by the way. Black Desert, award-winning character creator, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're not calling this an RPG, because we feel like there's a lot of connotations associated with that word, whether it's creating your own character and role-playing as them, or experience points and leveling up systems. Those aren't in this game.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we're not calling it an RPG, we're calling it an open world action adventure game, but there is still a lot of customization that players can have over Cliff. Not just cosmetically, as well as stat points over his armor and how he looks, but also in kind of how they play as their character. Whether you're leveling a skill tree in a certain direction that's aligned with your melee combat or your magic focus or your defensive-minded gameplay, you can really make the play style adapt to how you want to play.
Cool. Now, I want to talk about traversal, because obviously a big part of an open world game is just getting around it. And there's some really, like just a second ago, he turned into something bird-shaped, I guess, and was flying.
Crow's wings.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the different ways you can get around, different mounts, different means of moving.
So traversal is very important in an open world sprawling continent like this. We call it the continent of Pywell because it's so massive. There's a couple really cool things. Obviously, you can run around on foot and see all the details of the world. Horseback, there's wyvern riding, there are dragons in the game that you can fly around in this large aerial abyss. There's even cool ways where you can take magic, bend trees, and like Looney Tunes, you can launch yourself from the tree into the air, soar through it, and get to the next destination with your wings that are magic imbued. We're not going to go into how you get those wings, but there's magic in the game, so use your imagination.
I like magic. That's fun. Now, we've seen some things in the trailer. There's these like almost Tears of the Kingdom style sky islands that look almost like sort of puzzle spaces. Can you talk a little bit about those and how they come into play?
The Abyss.
The Abyss.
Yes, the aerial abyss. Again, we're trying not to talk too much about story because we don't want to do a lot of spoilers. We want people to play the game and get excited about that. The plots are going to be a central pivotal thing, but there are going to be puzzles, things that you're trying to put together around these artifacts and magic within the world. And those sky islands, as you call them, or the abyss, is going to be a pivotal central part of that. So you saw, and actually you've seen in previous B-roll, diving off the abyss and into the world. We're actually showing that as part of the Gamescom demo. That's how we end our tutorial, and players experience that before they start the demo.
Oh, that's fun. Now let's talk a little bit about exploration, because you mentioned being able to climb that mountain over there. A big part of that is exploration is great, but that can, without any kind of goal, just be wandering around. What's out there for people to discover? What is sort of hidden in the world?
We took a lot of inspiration in the open world and the building of that open world from our experience as a developer. I think, Libby, you can talk about that because you worked on Black Desert when it launched.
Can I use Black Desert as an example?
Yeah.
So, we have enough experience with open world, obviously, and there are so many, still huge community that loves, exploring over, combats, that stressful combats and such. So also, our developers tend to develop the game they wanted to play, genuinely wanted to play. That's the adorable point of them. So they really love to hide all those cute elements and all those details in the world. So throughout the world in Black Desert, for now I can say, there are so many hidden chest boxes and all those different elements. Even per region, you can get different type of fish, different type of meat, different type of collectible minerals and everything. So we wanted to create those realistic but still interesting enough, unique parts into the world, so you can actually find the village or the area that you definitely more immersed into and set your home camp within that region, etc. So it won't be exactly same for Crimson Desert, but since we shared this vision or this interest in games, so we will definitely hit a lot of surprises throughout the massive lands world.
Yeah, okay. Even though obviously the genres are very different between MMO and single player action adventure, the living, breathing open world and how the developers have the experience crafting that experience is going to directly translate in how they're building this open world.
Got it. Yeah, I guess I'm curious. Again, I was at a glance. You see like a sword and board third-person game, and it's like it looks like an RPG.
Au contraire,
right?
sir.
Yeah, and I'm getting that. But how is the sort of difficulty scaling? Like, if you do you have high-level enemies out there? Are they even high-level enemies, or are they just hard? You know, are they?
So, I get very defensive when someone says this is a very hard game. It's not. What they're experiencing, and this is a hard game to demo because what we're showing is a chapter of the game, and it's not the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're giving people 5 minutes of tutorial to ramp up into several hours into the game. So there's a very steep learning curve for this demo.
Right.
And
yeah, you're throwing them in the deep end. Basically.
Right, exactly. But we see that after an hour of gameplay, which is what we're showing here, their skill level has increased. So there's a very high skill curve, but there's a very high skill ceiling because the QA team have become masters of this game with tens and tens of hours of experience. They always show me something I didn't even know existed in the game, and I'm always amazed by how masterful they are.
When I start the game, can I just wander off in any direction?
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean, it's just like theoretically, yes, in an open world. There's always a question of how do we deal with, then I'll just go to the final boss. In an open world, you activate instances. So you activate boss fights, and those activations aren't eligible until you've met their prerequisites. So whether it's the time of day or something, we've shown this in our boss fight build, where you go to a certain place and then you wait. There's a prompt. If you haven't had those prerequisites, then that prompt isn't there. So you can't just zoom to the end.
Gotcha.
But in terms of the open world, I mean, up to a certain extent, you can explore it.
Okay.
Again, we haven't revealed the scope and scale of everything yet, but it is an open world.
What are your personal favorite details in this game? Like, what is like one little thing that you just want to make everyone pay attention to?
I need more time.
You need more time. There's so many things. I really, really love, and I promise this isn't a cop-out answer. We've demoed this game so many times for so many people, and because of the way that the technology and our proprietary engine works that we built this game upon, every time you load into it, the weather, the temperature, everything is different. And those aren't just cosmetic details. If you see on the bottom left of the screen, that temperature, if you start this demo on the top of a mountain, if that's under 0 degrees Celsius, you start seeing breath. Come out, you zoom in, and you can see Cliff's breath. Frost starts developing on his beard. There are certain of those elements, I'm not going to tell you right now, that affect gameplay. So it's really cool and extremely hard to demo when every time you load into the game it's different. You can't consistently show off the same things, but it makes it exciting and it makes it rewarding to show it off because it's different every time.
Sweet. When is this game coming out? I want to play it.
Well, she's not getting out of her answering her favorite thing.
What's your detail? You had plenty of time. He was covering for you, run interference.
Oops. I actually really love the weather in game, if it makes sense. Because of thanks to our primary engine, they can do all these crazy magics. I personally, our lives, day-to-day lives are so stressful, and I'm living in Netherlands with very sad weather throughout the year. But in game, the sunset looks amazing. The reflection on the surface of water is crazy good. So whenever I just see those beautiful sceneries, it still makes me feel, oh my God, this is the baby we are working.
That is an underappreciated thing about open world games. Is do you want to go to this world? Is it a place you want to spend 100 hours or whatever? That's important. That's something worth considering.
On top of that, whenever our studio, they're so excited to explain what they actually implemented this round of the build. So it's so, for me, I'm not the dev, so I cannot understand all those details, but their excitement and the things they're focusing on it's alien-y language, but it's so beautiful. In a way.
Based on what I'm seeing here, it seems like they've been keeping pretty busy. So I'm dying. Again, when can I play this game? Do we have a...
Yes, we do have a release window.
Okay.
So Crimson Desert, you will be able to play it in Q1 2026, available on PC, natively on Mac, as well as on console, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Perfect. That is just in time for my seasonal affective disorder. Crimson Desert, hitting PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, and Mac early next year, but right now there's more Gamescom Studio on IGN coming up. Stick around.
Coming up next on Gamescom Studio, a bunch of trailers for some games with extremely metal titles. The horror visual novel No, I'm Not a Human, a low-poly Souls-like Prison of Husks, and spooky-looking first-person adventure Karamara Beneath the Forlorn Limbs. Take a look.
It is their days, and the judgment is upon us. We've ravaged the earth for meaningless profit. We wallow in empty hedonism. We spill blood for pointless reasons. And the sun is an unforgiving nemesis that will burn until there is no sin left.
LEGO Voyagers is a new two-player co-op adventure about two friends on a mission to rescue an abandoned spaceship and embark on a journey beyond their wildest dreams. Experience life as a Lego brick. Tumble, jump, snap together, and build your way through rich brick worlds in this poetic, non-verbal narrative set in beautiful brick-built environments supported by an atmospheric soundtrack. Invite a friend to your adventure for free with the Friends Pass. As long as one of you owns LEGO Voyagers, you can both experience the full co-op experience together. Let's take a look.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Are you not entertained?
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN GameScoop.
GameScoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game collection. Now you can even import your entire Steam library to Playlist, making it easier than ever to review games, show off your collection to the world, and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Oh, I'm here at the Borderlands 4 booth at Gamescom 2025. I'm not sure how that happened, but hey, while I'm here, might as well check it out. They said they had a few demo stations set up around the corner, but I don't... Oh! There they are! One of the best parts of Gamescom is getting to go hands-on with brand new games, and clearly Gearbox came prepared. In Borderlands 4, you'll step into the boots of one of 4 vault hunters, badass mercenaries on the hunt for alien vaults across the planet of Kairos.
Reporting for duty, boss.
Wield outrageous guns and unleash devastating abilities as you team up with up to 3 other players to loot, shoot, and uncover ancient secrets. Each Vault Hunter class features a unique playstyle and grants access to one of 3 powerful action skills. Let's meet the crew. First up is Vex, a siren with a talent for summoning spectral allies and wreaking havoc with elemental damage. Think of her as a summoner-necromancer hybrid who bends the battlefield with trickery and deception. Life hasn't always been too kind to Vex. She grew up scraping by on her own, and her siren powers only complicated things further. That hard-earned cynicism fuels her salty, sarcastic attitude. But beneath the snark, Vex is an empath who's seen too much to pretend that things are fine. She may be a pessimist, but when it comes to taking down oppressors or helping someone who's hurting, she'll be the first to throw hands and hellfire. Then there's Rafa, an agile exosuit soldier who's always on the move, and for good reason. Born in microgravity, Rafa's body developed with fragile bones and low muscle mass, making life outside that environment nearly impossible. His way out? TDR's military program, which offered him a tour of the galaxy in exchange for a few upgrades. They re-engineered his body for a cutting-edge exosuit, a walking arsenal equipped with lasers, deployable turrets, and a sword for up-close chaos. But when Rafa realized TDR had no intention of ever releasing him from duty, he went AWOL. Now he's on the run, making the most of his freedom and his firepower while taking down anyone who tries to put him back in a cage. If you're looking to get up close and personal, check out Amon the Forge Knight. Built like a boulder and just as hard to stop, Amon specializes in physical attacks and brutal combo chains with 2 distinct options for every action skill. He also commands a deadly
deadly array of weaponized drones, turning the battlefield into his personal forge of glory. Raised in a vault monster-worshipping cult, Amon was the sole survivor when the creature they worshipped was finally released and slaughtered everyone he cared about. Now, he's on a lifelong mission to hunt down and destroy as many of these beasts as he can, using his arsenal of drones that form medieval weapons like swords, axes, whips, and spears. Despite his tragic past and imposing presence, Amon is a warrior poet at heart, introspective, unflinching, and full of warm advice and wild stories for anyone who's willing to listen. Finally, meet Harlow, a former Malawan combat scientist turned vault hunter with a serious obsession for figuring out how everything works. As a Gravatar, she brings experimental tech and gadgets into the fray, using cutting-edge tools to manipulate enemy positions and control the battlefield. Her curiosity once made her an outcast among her Trant relatives, but now it's her greatest weapon. Harlow is pure science in motion, brilliant, inventive, and bursting with life. Whether she's reverse engineering a new piece of gear or tossing enemies around with gravity explosions, her spirit and grin can't be beat. Whether you're summoning spectral allies, piloting an exosuit, charging into battle, or hacking space-time itself with experimental gadgets, Borderlands 4 has a Vault Hunter for you.
You can check them all out for yourself when Borderlands 4 hits PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S on September 12th, and Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was one of the biggest games of 2024, and next month it gets even bigger with its first DLC expansion. Here to tell us about the Order of the Giants, Zeke Byron and Axel Torvinius from Machine Games. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back. So you were here a year ago. You were telling me about this game, and I was like, I can't wait for it. And then it turns out it was awesome. I 100%ed it. I did everything you could do. I found every puzzle, every secret, everything. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for making one of my favorite games of last year. Cool. What's new with the DLC?
Well, there are a lot of new things with the DLC. It's worth mentioning that the DLC is its full standalone product, and you will access it through the Vatican sandbox. And it's filled to the brim with new mysteries, there are new enemies, new set piece, fresh new cutscenes, a lot of content for you to explore. And if you're a 100% completionist, there's plenty in there for you.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, because I'm going to 100% that again.
Nice.
I'm going to get right into a stupid question. Is there any really dumb new thing that I can hit a bad guy in the head with?
Wait, how many dumb things are there?
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb things that you can hit a bad guy in the head with. One of the joke objects off the top of my head I can't think of one, but we have some really nice new clubs, and yeah. I think we made a couple variations of new candlesticks that should break as well.
I love that. I was like laughing hysterically every time I threw fruit at somebody or hit them in the head with a broom. It was a good time. You got to see tons of players play the original game. What was it like watching people connect with this game? What was like sort of the most surprising thing that you took away watching players connect with it?
So many things. I mean, first of all, an amazing experience just to be able to get the game out and then see the reception that we got from the community and all the fans out in the world. And I do think that one of the things that we love the most is that players got it. You know, the game that we wanted to do that sometimes allows the player and the pacing to slow down. That was something the player base absolutely got into. And we see a lot of comments how people love the fact that in certain sections of the game you have to walk around with a torch and looking for clues.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine until next around the corner you have some, hard-hitting action moment with enemies or a set piece. And that balance, that was important for us to hit, and it feels really good that it landed well with the fan base as well.
Yeah, we watched some people playing the DLC yesterday, and it was so nice just to see them taking their time and just going up with a lighter and like lighting up things and just like paying attention to the detail. And
yeah.
Like, I really like that the spaces are still, like throughout the DLC, we're still going for this whole approach of like, we want every space to like just be its reward in itself, just to be in there and to look at all the beautiful lighting and the set dressing.
It became a thing I think a lot of people connected with, but the first time, and it's a first-person game, but the first time you see your shadow in a tomb or something like that, it just like took my breath away. So yeah, again, thank you for making an awesome Indiana Jones game. Tell me about the sort of balance between puzzles, combat, exploration, all that in the Order of Giants DLC.
I mean, we did do basically an analysis of the main game. We looked at what things did work really well and what were the things that we were the most proud of. and then basically did like a distilled version of the main game, but a smaller version. So everything is represented in there in terms of cutscene, set piece, boss fight, new enemies, new weapons, new mechanics. And there are a lot of things from the game mechanic side of things as well in terms of like how we balance that with like visuals and narrative, of course.
Yeah, I think one of the things is like I think it really emboldened us. Like we're still taking risk. Like okay, we know that people like platforming. Let's make the best, longest, most over-the-top platforming sections we can. And I think you'll see early on in the DLC we have a really nice, long, huge cavern that you're able to explore and climb up ropes and all sorts of moving mechanisms. And I think it's the most ambitious thing we've done in terms of a traversal section in Indiana Jones, and that's coming from straight off a base game, going into developing this, and like designers like being really like excited about, oh, this is something I've always wanted to do like for years, and now I get the opportunity to just like knock it out of the park.
I mean, and like for gamers, like we know, like it's first-person platforming historically not always the greatest experience, right? Like there's a few games that really got it right, and you guys made one of them. So again, thank you for that. Was there anything from the movies that has like inspired the Order of Giants specifically? Was there anything you pulled from that source material? So much of that made it into the base game, obviously, but was there anything like any scenes or moments or anything like that from classic indie that made its way here?
The main source of inspiration has always been Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's where we've been looking to get closest to with the main game. And since the DLC is this continuation to some extent in the theme of the main game, this is a very heavy narrative, story-driven DLC. So it has the same set of sources for inspiration. This really feels like an extension of the main games. If you loved The Great Circle, you'll love the DLC.
Awesome. Why did you decide to set the DLC like within the events of the main game rather than continuing after the credits?
Primarily due to story reasons. I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but there are story reasons in the Order of Giants that makes it makes sense. It makes perfect sense to have it within the Vatican. It's connected to the tribe of giants and the myth of the Nephilims, and how that's interconnected with Vatican and Rome, because we do go to Rome in this DLC, and that also ties in very nicely with the overarching story of the Great Circle.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think you'll also see, like in the way that we present the notes and the different collectibles you see, that it will draw to foreshadow events in the future, or harken back to other stuff in the Vatican. It's like it all goes into your journal, and at the end of the game, this will be another part of that long journey and that like overarching like lure that you want to uncover.
No, I really love that tangible element of like flipping through a book and stuff like that. It reminded me of like being a kid and scribbling notes while playing like a RPG or something. So yeah, that was awesome. There's a post-credit thing in the base game that I found. Do you intend to pay that off at some point? Is that going to be worked into this?
I mean, we can say as much as the DLC is a confined chapter of its own, so it's not affecting anything in main campaign to that large extent. We do have a couple of new ability books in the DLC, and obviously if you play the DLC and continue to play the main game, you'll still have those. But we do not alter the ending of the main game due to the events in the DLC.
Got it.
The DLC is its own adventure, even though it's tightly connected and has this seamless transition between the main game.
What's sort of something that, without spoiling too much, that you're excited for, like players to find in this DLC? Because there are people like me that did everything there is to do, and we want more. So what's like the one thing you're like, oh, the hardcore obsessed 100% players, I can't wait for this.
I think I'm seeing on the B-roll now. I want to see them do this fight sequence actually. This is one of my favorite areas in the game where they're pushing people down into the hole.
I will admit to you all that one of my favorite things to do in the base game was just spend about an hour just making a pile of bad guys somewhere. Like there was that dig site area, and I was just like, I'm just going to beat up 50 guys in a row and just ragdoll them into a pile, and it was great. It was so much fun.
There is a secret towards the end of the game in one of the an ancient temple, without giving away too much, which is extremely hard to find. So I'm looking forward to to see people trying to find that one. I'm sure they will, you know. But.
Yeah, well, I mean, the challenge accepted, basically, right? I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I've been obsessed with the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2, bought it the second I could. You guys announced the game's coming to Switch 2, which is so cool. What's it been like working with that system? I know that the base game, relied on ray tracing a lot, and Switch 2, you have a different set of specs you're working with here. So what's that been like?
It's a lot of hard work for the engineers, that's for sure. And I mean, we are extremely excited to be able to have the opportunity to get out on Switch 2. That will be amazing. But yeah, there is obviously it comes with its own sets of challenges to make sure this magnitude of a game fits into that platform. But it's exciting work, and it's going really well.
Did you ever consider motion control whipping with the Joy-Cons?
That I can't answer.
It just popped in my head. I just imagined doing that on an airplane and people being like, please stop.
Yeah.
Do you plan to include all the DLC with the Switch 2 version of the game when it releases? Oh, awesome. It's very, very cool. Anything else you'd like to say about Order of Giants? I know people are excited for this, so...
Yeah, I think there are two things maybe. I mean, our love and passion for the IP and for the character has really carried through to the DLC. The DLC is not in any way like a subpar in quality at all. It's to some extent, there are sections within the DLC that is even of higher quality than the main game. And it's also, I think we've undergone a huge achievement from the engineers and a lot of the design team to actually make sure that it was possible to have the DLC set up in the way that we have at the moment. It was not an easy thing to splice in this amount of content into the already existing save states for people, So it was a huge achievement from the engineering side and the design team.
Yeah, just from the start of development on it, there was a lot of technical hurdles to get into it. But everybody really worked super duper hard, and it's been pretty smooth sailing after that initial bumpy part.
I think people knew that Machine Games and Indiana Jones working together would be like a match made in heaven. I don't think people knew just how well that would come together.
Cool.
Obviously, people were apprehensive. They're like, I want to see Indiana Jones the whole time, and it's like, no, you can be him instead. That's better. What does the future of Machine Games and Indiana Jones look like? Is this a world you guys want to play in for a long time?
I mean, we love Indiana Jones, that's for sure. And I do think that one thing that has been very rewarding internally is to see when the team has been working for this project for so many years, that there was still love and passion in the core of our heart to still crank out a high-quality DLC. When it comes to the future, right now we're very much focused on, making sure that on the 4th of September, everything goes smooth, and then obviously the work that we're doing towards Switch 2, making sure that will be high quality as well. So that's the current focus.
Yeah.
And we are excited, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, throughout development, Indiana Jones has been such a, I won't say it's easy, but it provides such good guidance. It's like you're trying to get someone to do that punch to be in the face, and it's like, oh, that doesn't feel like Indy. They need to wobble backwards and fall over something, or they need to make a dumb face when you hit them, or
got a little slapstick to it.
Yeah. Or we should put a fly swatter because that's the thing you want to pick up in the last second. Oh crap! Now I have to fight with this, and I think that continues to be super fun to work with. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for making my favorite Indiana Jones game. And yeah, selfishly, I hope you get to keep playing in this world for a long time. In the meantime, DLC is going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't have to wait too long for the Order of Giants because it hits Xbox Series, PS5, and PC on September 4th, and it'll be on Switch 2 next year. But to hold you over until then, there's tons more Gamescom Studio on IGN coming up. So hey, don't go anywhere.
Hey you! Looking for a way to wear your fandom with pride? The IGN store is the ultimate destination for awesome merch and collectibles from the biggest games, movies, shows, and everything in between. Cruise the wasteland in style with a Vault Dweller hoodie and replica Pip-Boy. Kick back and relax to some of the best game soundtracks ever pressed on limited edition vinyl. Or level up your whole wardrobe with a massive selection of officially licensed apparel. From iconic properties like Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda to newer fan favorites like Atomfall and Expedition 33, the IGN store has you covered. You'll also find hats, jewelry, action figures, board games, model kits, art books, and even snacks. Whatever you're into, you're bound to find something. See for yourself and head to store.ign.com today.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downes, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts. The best podcasts from around the world.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Are you not entertained?
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
What's up, everybody? This is Gamescom Studio right here on IGN. Coming up, we've got a couple bright and colorful superhero games that also happen to be extremely violent. Invincible Versus and Deadpool VR. After that, things are getting dystopian in the 2.5D cyberpunk platformer Replace, but right now, it's time for The Outer Worlds 2. Check it out.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. In 2019, we got launched into space in The Outer Worlds, and this fall it's time to suit up again for a sequel that promises to double down on all the sci-fi weirdness. Here to tell us about it, Brandon Adler and Leonard Boyarsky from Obsidian Entertainment. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So I'm really looking forward to this. Big fan of the first game. One of the things I like most about this is the flaws system. I'm sure you can describe it better than me, but it's a way to add unique modifiers to gameplay based on player behavior. So, for example, there's the sun gazer flaw, where if you stare at the sun for long enough in game, unlock the sun gazer flaw, which will distort the visuals, but then your character will gradually regenerate health in sunlight. Correct. So, I like this idea a lot. In real life, staring at the sun is kind of a dumb thing to do. So, my question: are there any other dumb things players should experiment with that might unlock flaws in the game?
I mean, gosh, there's, I think, over 30 flaws, so we track a lot of different player actions. I don't know if there's anything that I would consider especially dumb, but we definitely check out, let's say, for example, you're constantly reloading your weapon too early.
Okay.
Like, we might notice that. We might give you the over-prepared flaw, where if you constantly reload, you actually get a bonus to your magazine sizes. But if you don't, and you let your clip get all the way down to 0, then you get a big penalty. So we do a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, there's a ton of them.
It kind of reminds me of Fallout New Vegas, where if you were playing a character with low intelligence, that would unlock some very humorous dialogue options. So aside from affecting gameplay, do the flaws affect the story in any interesting ways?
I don't think there's any direct flaws for dialogue stuff. We do a lot of that with perks, though.
Okay.
Perks can affect dialogues.
But we also have the dumb trait as well. That you.
Oh yeah. Well, there's always that. That's a standard.
Yeah.
The perks are one of the things I think fans are most excited for. I think they seem maybe like a little bit more interesting this time around. Is that something that you actually set out to improve from the first game?
Yeah, 100%. That was one of the things that we had targeted very early on. Is just we wanted a much deeper RPG, one where the players could kind of build out whatever characters they wanted. We wanted to do that obviously with equipment, so we made equipment significantly more and more in depth. But we also wanted every aspect, so we added in things like traits, the perks, the flaws. And for the perks in particular, we looked at Fallout New Vegas and we said, wow, we really like not only the number that are here, but all the different things that could be affected. So we went even harder than that. And I think we even have, we have over 90 now. So I think it's even more than Fallout New Vegas had.
Wow.
You know what? We do have foot and mouth.
Yeah.
And a couple of those flaws where you have to take certain things. What's the other one? I'm blanking on it right now. There's another really good one too. That ties in with abrasive. But
yeah. Again, it's just all so you can build out your character in a bunch of different cool ways, and just not only that, the game reacting to the way in which you're playing. So we just wanted that whole full RPG experience.
I like the serial killer perk, which is where humans you kill will drop their hearts, and you get a bonus to your max health for each one.
Yeah, our design director Matt Singh, that's his favorite, man. He goes around and he's just a pure psychopath.
I like the ability to play as a real sicko in the game. So that's my next question. Can you kill every NPC in the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, can you do a pacifist run? Kill nobody.
I don't think you can do that. You can get other people to do your killing for you.
Okay.
I think there's ways through that you can avoid a lot of killing. We didn't put in a specific pacifist playthrough path.
Yeah, the people that have done almost pure pacifists have almost gotten all the way through without killing people. But there are a few key fights where something has to happen, and so again, like Leonard's saying, you could have other people maybe do that for you.
Sure.
And so if you consider that pacifist, then yeah, you can do a pacifist run.
So RPG players love when their choices have major consequences. They love when these consequences are actually visible in the world. So I know it's hard to discuss, no spoilers, but will we see any of that in Outer Worlds 2?
Yes, quite a few. One of the things that we wanted to do a lot more in this game was have a lot more longer-term reactivity as well as more spectacular reactivity, which of course is all due to time and money. And we had more of each this time around, so we really wanted to kind of have a couple instances where you did some really dramatic things, or your choices led to some really dramatic things.
Yeah, if that's what you're looking for as a player, you're going to be happy with the Outer Worlds 2.
Nice. Depending on who you ask, one of the nice things about the Outer Worlds 1 is that you can beat it in a couple weekends. I appreciate that as someone who plays a lot of games, so it's not always the case for RPGs. So this time around, can we expect the campaign to be around the same length as the first game, or did you try to go bigger this time?
We went a lot bigger this time, but I do believe, I haven't tested this out myself, you can just do the main story arc and it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
We're not forcing you to do a lot of extra content. Obviously you have to get yourself to a certain level to do certain types of content, but we're not gating you from like just really pursuing the main story arc if that's what you want to do. But we wanted to add a ton of exploration and rewards for exploring this time around. Again, the time and money thing, we were able to get much bigger areas. It's still the thing where you're flying around in your ship to the different areas. It's not contiguous, but in each area you go to, there's a lot more places to explore, a lot more side quests to find.
I think too, when it comes to character customization and builds, you're kind of taking a Rodney Dangerfield approach. You get no respect at all. That's a Max Scoville joint. But can you speak to that? Why you made the decision to not allow people to respect their characters?
Yeah, I personally think, especially in an RPG, it's really important that the decisions you make have impact and weight. And for me personally, respecking reduces the impact of those choices. If you can at one moment become a charismatic rogue that is, talking his way through everything, and then you want to respect to, well, never mind, I actually don't want to do that. I want to be an engineer that does this thing. It just doesn't sit right with me. Like, it feels like if you pick your character and you're role-playing your character, that's something that should be an important choice and kind of lead you throughout the entire experience that way. And so hopefully we've given you a lot of options, no matter what you've chosen, to have like cool, fun experiences. But yeah, it was important to me that we make players understand that, hey man, the choices you make actually do matter.
I've been playing a lot recently, just an actual playthrough. Over the course of development, I obviously do a lot of jumping in, testing specific things, and then I'll cycle through different, different skills, different abilities to be able to like see how the content's going to play out. And as a person who's playing it, trying not to cheat, because I could always do that if I wanted to, it's really tough because you get in there and you're like, I want both these perks, or I want this perk. Oh no, I want to spec my character this way. And once you've made that choice, even then you have deeper choices as you go along the way. So it's really, excuse me, it really adds to the gameplay.
Thinking back to Outer Worlds 1, Supernova was basically a hardcore mode that limited your perks, allowed permanent death for your companions. You had to eat and sleep. Is this mode returning for Outer Worlds 2?
No, we are not doing Supernova mode. No. We removed some of the different survival elements that are in there, but we do have like harder modes for folks that are in there. But it's not the exact same thing.
How are you handling difficulty here? Scale, or is there difficulty settings?
Yeah, it's difficulty settings that you can kind of set. Yeah.
You brought a new, it's a companion trailer here for Gamescom,
yeah.
Part of Opening Night Live. Do you have a favorite companion in the game, both of you?
Well, I wrote, I wrote Azza, so she's my favorite. But it's hard to pick. All the companions have like really great storylines, and they're really cool individual characters. And there's, different aspects to them that are funny or endearing or irritating in an endearing way. So it's really hard to pick. I mean, stepping back, I think there's a couple that I I would say are my favorites, but then, I'll play another time and swap out the companions and see something really cool and just go like, oh, I should play more with that companion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Niles. Not only do I love his story and his overall arc, but he actually has some pretty cool gameplay stuff. Not only his companion abilities and whatnot, he actually acts as my tank in the way that I built him out. But I love that he actually has like a field engineering skill, so he's basically a workbench anywhere. So whenever I need to generate ammo, let's say go in there and craft more ammo, or if I want to add mods to my weapons, and he's there, I don't have to go run back to go find a workbench. I can immediately go like, hey Niles, will you craft this thing for me? And he's like, yeah, sure, boss. And then, it's a lot of fun, and it's actually really useful too.
Just like with all the other stuff, it's really hard choices because they're all great. Because not like Brandon said, Niles has that field workshop capability, and that's invaluable. So you're like, oh, but I want to check out the different companions. So it's really a hard choice sometimes which ones you want to play with.
Like I said, I'm really excited for it. It's been a long time coming. Outer Worlds 1 was 2019, and then 2 was announced, I think, at E3 2021.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It's been a little minute, so
yeah.
I'm really excited to finally get to play it. Thank you so much for coming by, IGN Studio.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
The Outer Worlds 2 hits Xbox Series, PS5, and PC on October 29th. Right now, there's more Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
Hey you! Looking for a way to wear your fandom with pride? The IGN Store is the ultimate destination for awesome merch and collectibles from the biggest games, movies, shows, and everything in between. Cruise the wasteland in style with a Vault Dweller hoodie and replica Pip-Boy. Kick back and relax to some of the best game soundtracks ever pressed on limited edition vinyl. Or level up your whole wardrobe with a massive selection of officially licensed apparel. From iconic properties like Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda to newer fan favorites like Atomfall and Expedition 33, the IGN Store has you covered. Whatever you're into, you're bound to find something. See for yourself and head to store.ign.com today.
I feel like I'm in a time loop because I keep winding up back here at the Borderlands 4 booth at Gamescom 2025, and I'm finding all sorts of new stuff to check out. Hey man, how's it going? At a glance, you might think I'm standing next to the hottest new graphics card around, but it is in fact Claptrap. But also, on second thought, I think this might be a gaming PC. There's a bunch of USB ports back here. You can charge your phone.
There's so much to check out here at Borderlands 4's booth at Gamescom 2025, and there's also a ton of different weapons and manufacturers to check out in the game. After all, every Vault Hunter needs an arsenal of outrageously powerful guns at the ready. 8 unique manufacturers are supplying the billions of deadly weapons you'll find on Kairos, each with unique characteristics and trademark strengths. Plus, with the addition of the licensed parts system, you'll even find guns with behaviors and abilities from multiple manufacturers. Here's what you should expect from each weapon maker. There's Order, which lets you use the advanced arsenal of the Timekeeper's order against him, loading extra ammo into high-powered bursts to eliminate your targets with precision. Then there's Ripper, which embodies the phrase, good things come to those who wait. They take a moment to spin up, but then you're blasting at full auto for as long as you hold down the trigger. But let's say you're looking to make a bang. Well, that's where Torg comes in. These launchers pack heavy-duty explosive rounds that can switch to sticky projectiles, leaving your opponents as nothing more than a crater. Or hey, maybe you want a maker with a wide range of options like Daedalus. Their weapons are easy to use, reliable, and quick to reload, from assault rifles, shotguns, pistols, and more. Or if you're looking for style, TDR weapons have plenty of it, since once your clip is out of bullets, you can toss your gun like a grenade, then get right back into the fight with a fully loaded replica digistructing right into your hands. Master the elements with Malawan's high-tech weapons, which lets you burn, freeze, and shock anyone who gets in your way by dealing damage over time effects. If you're into big damage, Jacob's black powder firearms might be just for you. These can deal critical damage ricochets and can unload bullets in a flash, perfect for sharpshooters with twitchy trigger fingers. Finally, Vladov rifles shred enemies to pieces with high rates of fire and huge magazines, but it comes at the cost of reduced accuracy and heavier handling. But hey, who needs accuracy when you can just spray and pray?
You can check them all out for yourself when Borderlands 4 hits PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S on September 12th, and Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd.
You're watching Gamescom Studio here on IGN. Next year, we get to throw down in one of the most brutal comic book universes around. Here to tell us about Invincible Versus, executive producer Mike Willett and combat designer Rip Parbu. Parbu, did I say that right?
Parbu works.
Oh, Parbo?
Parbu, it is Parbu.
Parbu, okay.
Rip is fine, though.
Rip is great. We'll call you Rip.
Everyone knows him as Rip. Yeah.
So off the rip, so often when a new fighter, it's based on an existing show or property emerges, they're often limited to the first season or two. What story arcs are Invincible Versus going to be diving into?
Well, I should say it's a unique story.
Okay.
We're not revealing what it is, but it's our own thing.
Okay.
But we have input from the creative team, like behind the show and the comics. So across the board for everything, not just story, but like our characters and we come up with really exciting ideas for combat and things that we want to do. And there's this open relationship where they give us feedback and say like, oh, that's really cool, go for it. So it's unlike any other experience we've had before. So really open to just the possibilities.
Excellent. I was trying to fish for like how many characters, what characters are we going to see? Can we expect to see?
Good answer, Mike. Fan favorites. Expect fan favorites. Some other ones that have really cool gameplay that we're like, players are going to love this.
Yeah, I think that might sound really fun in a tag fighting game.
Excellent. All right. And speaking of tag fighters, there's usually got to have a deeper roster for a tag fighting game. Are you guys able to reveal what our starting roster is going to look like yet?
Well, it's going to look awesome.
Yeah. With fan favorites even.
With fan favorites?
Even.
Fan favorites?
Yeah.
How about a number? How about a number of fan favorites?
More than 6? I think that's what we've shown so far.
We've said more than 6.
Definitely more than 6.
More than 6. You've heard
more
it
than
here
12?
first.
More than 12.
More than 12 even.
More than 12. You've heard it here first at IGN, everybody.
I will say more than 15.
More than 15?
More than 15. Yeah. We're just going to go. Can I get 18? 18? Can I get 18?
I don't know.
15 sounds like a lot.
Yeah. We're going to make some people sweat.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a really fun roster.
Yeah.
Excellent. What character... Can you talk about which character has been the toughest to recreate?
Which character has been the
maybe
toughest?
from a design perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I mean, I think that, Omni-Man, he's obviously someone who you can go a lot of different directions with, but obviously you want him to hit hard, right? He's like a very brutal, fast-paced character. And obviously you've seen him in other fighting games as well, but this is a tag fighter, so you kind of want these aspects that are really accessible to players. So that was a little bit of a challenge on my part, just to think about how do we make it more accessible so that everyone who picks this game is like, I want to play Omni-Man, how do we make him fun and still a good character that's fun to play, right? So Omni-Man and Invincible is sort of the same situation, so they're both going to be fun, good characters, I think.
Excellent. A lot of fighting games have had like modern and like kind of controls compared to classic controls. Are we going to have anything kind of along those lines to kind of help usher in like those who may be new to fighting games?
Oh yeah, there's definitely
we have standard controls.
Standard controls.
Yeah, they work really well for gamepad players, especially either coming back to fighting games or new to them. Really accessible. It's like single input supers. But for the hardcore, we have motion inputs, and so we've reduced the amount of buttons down to like a 6-button layout that's really accessible, really fun for people that like playing on leverless, like playing on arcade sticks. You move really fast.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I think
We're
that's
huge
the thing.
fans of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like playing on just like the standard controller inputs, it's very easy and accessible on a controller. But when I moved to an arcade stick, I was like, I need less buttons, right? So going back to traditional input style was fantastic for that.
Excellent. Invincible has some great moments in fighting, obviously, throughout the show, throughout the novels. I've seen in some of the footage, we've seen some changing of locations in the fights. How do those kind of trigger? Is that kind of like a a special mechanic, or how does that work?
That's our arena shift. Describe the arena shift.
So basically, we have this arena shift, and the way you trigger it is by finding a crumple state. So you have to have a crumple state, and then you have to do a snapback attack, and it costs a bar meter to do that. So if that happens, it's one time per match, and when that happens, you lock out all of their assists for 10 seconds, and you get unlimited boost regeneration for that 10 seconds. So it makes you super powered up for 10 seconds, but it can only happen once per match.
Excellent. That's so it's a real kind of,
and it's not a predetermined place that you go to during an arena shift.
Wow.
It's randomized. So just like superheroes when they fight, you could wind up anywhere around the world, and that's what happens in our fights.
Yeah, if you watch Invincible, you see him blast him like to the Himalayas or something. That could literally happen in the game.
That's amazing. I was just going to ask, like, are we going to be able to recreate any big moments? And sounds like we're going to be able to do that. You know, maybe Omni-Man holding Invincible through the whole metro train.
Well, as you can see with Omni-Man's ult, so we wanted to pay homage to when he basically destroys the Flaccid Dimension and wrecks shop in there. And for us, it was such a huge moment, and we really wanted to celebrate it and capture the authenticity of it. Other like Easter eggs we have in there is like Battle Beast's ult, which is paying homage to the fight against Invincible
in the penthouse.
In the penthouse, Machine Head's penthouse. So that final blow just really wrecking poor Mark.
The rain of blood.
The rain of blood.
Pouring down his face.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love a good blood rain. How many game modes are we looking to have in Invincible Versus? Like, are we going to have a story? And you mentioned like a story.
We're going to have single player modes, and we're going to have online modes. We're not going into depth about those now, but look forward to more in the future. We're going to do some more deep dives.
Perfect. Guest characters are all the rage, and I know we're still, like, you said we're going up to 15 characters, but like maybe not something you're actually working about. If you could include like a guest character, like kind of on your wish list, who'd you like to
wish
list?
In? Wish list guest characters. Oh, those are really tough.
There's like infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you look at other fighting games, it could literally be anything from anywhere. I don't know, man.
But something that feels authentic and like would sit in the IP in a really
something that
really
fits in
cool
this
way.
universe, and something where violence is welcomed. I don't think that Sonic the Hedgehog is going to fit in here very well. Like, I can't imagine they'd let us knock his head off.
No, like maybe Kirby. Kirby feels very violent.
Kirby, yeah.
Kirby eats people, right?
Yeah. He does. He does, and they live forever in that bottle.
Without the bones.
No, but it's a world of possibilities, and if we earn that right to have an awesome partnership and get some really cool guest characters in, we'd love to do it.
Excellent. Are there any characters that stand out with a unique style of gameplay compared to the rest? Like, some games have like charge characters, grapplers. Is there anybody so far in the roster that kind of stands out and plays a little bit differently?
Well, I like Bulletproof a lot. Like, Bulletproof is one of our first characters that has like a Rekka. If you're familiar with Rekkas from back in the day with Fei Long, it's like a series of inputs where you do multiple like strikes in your special move sequence. And so Bulletproof has like some high-low gameplay and mix-ups, along with some really strange arcs that he can do with his other special moves. So how he manipulates and controls space and how he can cancel out of those moves. I've seen some of the most stylish combos ever with Bulletproof, and he's kind of currently my favorite right now.
Yeah, I think that's the wilder part about the game too, because I think when you read the comic or you watch the show, Bulletproof is not like the fan favorite that everyone goes to, but in the game, he's pretty ridiculous.
He's badass.
Yeah, and as far as like gameplay goes, for me, I have to go Rex, because a lot of the characters in this game, they're like flying around, they're doing air dashes. Rex doesn't have any of that, so he's more human-based. He's got to run, so most characters don't have a run stance. He's got the wall jump as well. He's got mobility built in, and a lot of projectile zoning and traps, so that's the one that stands out to me.
I saw some footage for the Rexplode, and he looks like a lot of fun.
He's great.
So we got just a couple minutes left. It's called Invincible Versus. I want to put us into Invincible versus the world and give you guys some fantasy matchups and tell me who's going to win and like a scrap, just getting into a little fight. First up, Invincible versus Superman.
Well, I think what winds up happening is Mark gets beat up a whole bunch.
He gets beat up.
He will stand back up, though. Like, he's never out. So, I think Superman is going to beat his ass for a bit, but Mark is stubborn, so he's going to keep coming back for more.
And he'll have kryptonite.
And he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think you have to have kryptonite.
Or maybe Evil will create some for him.
Sure.
So,
damn, Evil can create this kryptonite for Mark. Yeah, I think Mark wins.
Actually, whatever name you're going to say, Adam Eve beats her ass, just straight up.
I had Adam Eve versus Green Lantern.
Eve beats his ass.
Eve wins.
For sure.
Omni-Man versus Homelander.
Omni-Man.
Yeah?
He's trained for like thousands and thousands of years as a warrior, where Homelander is...
He just likes milk.
Yeah, and he's psychopath. He's crazy. Like he's not a warrior.
All right, Bulletproof versus Goku.
Oh, I want Bulletproof to win, you know, but I'm pretty sure it's Goku.
Goku's pretty strong.
Goku's pretty strong, but you know what?
But he doesn't have bullets.
But Bulletproof is going to style on him.
Bulletproof is going to look stylish in his combos until Goku kills him.
I say Bulletproof wins on style.
Yeah.
All right, on style for sure. Thanks so much. Invincible Versus will be hitting, kicking, and grappling its way onto Xbox Series, PS5, and PC sometime next year. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.
Oh, hi, new friend.
Hey there, I'm here with Phil Ferrian, the lead designer on possibly the most sweariest VR game at Gamescom. It's Deadpool VR. Hey Phil, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, could you give us a brief overview of Deadpool VR?
So Deadpool VR is an action game that mixes range combat with melee, explosives, sometimes even your own limbs. It's a really fun game. We have Deadpool, who basically gets involved with Mojo, the ruler of Mojo World. Now Deadpool, not so great at reading the fine line on his contract, so he ends up going after a bunch of really cool villains. We've got Omega Red, Lady Deathstrike, we got Mephisto, all sorts of other cool characters we haven't seen yet, even Omega Red. We're going to go to cool places. We go to Mojo World, which I don't think people have went to a whole lot. We go to Simcaria, we go to the Spirit of Xandar. We have a bunch of cool places to go to. So Deadpool puts all that together into an amazing VR experience.
Awesome. Now Deadpool is known as one of the most X-rated Marvel characters around. A lot of that is to do with his love of violence. How violent can you get in Deadpool VR?
So Deadpool can be as violent as you're creative. And really the game is made so that it rewards your creativity. Now we have rewards in the game. We have Mojo Bucks that you can get if you're performing really well when you complete combats. We want you to be creative. So really you can throw swords, you can throw guns. Now this is Deadpool also. Somebody comes at you, cuts off your arm. What do? You grab your arm, throw it at people. So there's a little bit of gore, but it's kind of a funny cartoon gore, and it's really based off of the creativity in combat. So it's fun, it's satisfying, but it's not so overwhelming. You're like, whoa, take a minute, you know. It's actually really, really fun.
Cool. Now, I've seen a snippet in one of the trailers of Deadpool pushing an enemy's face into some helicopter blades. Do you have like a favorite or most comical finisher move or anything that you can pull off?
So I think it's really contextual. If there's an enemy on a bridge, for example, for me it's grapple gun, throw him off the ledge. I always think of that Indiana Jones moment where the guy comes at him with the swords and he just pulls his gun out. To me, that's how I play Deadpool. The more threatening the enemy is and the more I can sort of embarrass his abilities with what I'm doing, I'll do that. And there's a ton of those. We have a ton of custom animations. We have a big enemy in the game. You slide under his legs, get your swords out, you can completely open up his belly. I love that stuff. So I don't have one favorite, it's just contextually favorite. There's a ton.
When you slide underneath his legs, can you also open up his undercarriage? Is that an option?
Yeah, actually, it actually is. Yeah, absolutely. That is one thing that we have in the game.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to doing that then. Now, I'll be doing that with one of Deadpool's signature weapons, his swords. He's also got 2 signature pistols. How does the swordplay work in Deadpool VR?
So the swords can block blows if you cross them together. You can also throw them. You can swing at enemies, and then you can also combine your swords with some of your traversal. So you can jump up in the air, dive down at enemies, you can slide on the ground, stab up with your swords. They are a very, very functional weapons. Personally, I like using them as ranged weapons. If there's somebody really far up on a ledge, I like to throw swords, and then as they're dying, I'll just grapple them down just to really drive the point home that I got them. They're very flexible weapons. Same thing with your guns. Your guns, also, you want to reload them quickly, throw them at people, get them back in your hands. That's how we reload in Deadpool.
Awesome. Now, with the swords in particular, when you're chopping your enemies, are there points of contact on the body? Can you take limbs off, head off, that kind of thing?
So you're going to see sometimes in the game there's an icon that shows up above the enemy's heads. That means it's time to do a finisher on them. Right. How you hit them with the swords will create different forms of dismemberment. So you can go after their legs, their arms, their heads. Sometimes you can cut them in half. We have all sorts of crazy things you can do.
Awesome. And now, it's not just the swords and the pistols you can use. You've mentioned other weapons as well, but I have a feeling there are some very creative weaponry in the game.
Absolutely. Now, enemies' limbs are also a weapon. So if you're clever about dismembering an enemy, let's say you get a claw from some enemy, you could grab that and use that as a weapon. That is 100% a thing. Sometimes it could be mechanical parts from something, it could be viscera. We have all sorts of interesting things. And it's their body or your own. Really, when I say the game is creative, we mean that across the board.
Okay, and I think I saw a glimpse of maybe Thor's hammer or something that looks similar in the gameplay trailer.
You saw a hammer, a very big hammer that was very effective. Now, Mojo understands that people like a good spectacle, so sometimes he introduces weapons that probably look really familiar to people. You might have seen a set of cards that may have been used by a Cajun person that may have been seen in some other things. I'm not saying who, but we definitely have that, and some other ones as well.
Okay, so you're saying there are going to be plenty of Easter eggs in this game?
Oh, absolutely. I think people are going to want to go around and look at everything, read everything, listen to Deadpool. The game is chock full of really cool Marvel Easter eggs.
Awesome, and it's also chock full of lots of movement. Deadpool can be seen jumping and skidding, sliding around. I take it that means there's going to be no teleportation to move in this game, like the recent Batman game. Will there be comfort settings though for people who are a bit less used to VR?
So obviously we want everybody to really enjoy the game, so we have a lot of comfort options. We have the ability to add vignetting, you can use snap turn, which you can control by yourself. We also have the ability to control whether you're moving where you're looking or with your stick. All of that comes in presets, or you can customize specifically what you want if you know exactly what you need. So really the goal for us is to leverage 5 games worth of VR experience into something that's so comfortable that everybody can enjoy Deadpool.
Great. Now, Deadpool is very well known for his fourth wall breaking, but in this game you're playing as Deadpool, so I presume there's going to be fourth wall breaking in there, but how would that work if you are Deadpool?
So you have to stay with me here.
Okay.
Deadpool, obviously, he understands he's in a game. He knows that you're playing him in the game, and he knows that we made the game. So you're going to have Deadpool who sometimes talk to other characters because he's in the game. Sometimes he talks to the player. He'll be like, hey, player, stop killing me. Like, do this different. Or he might be, hey, game developers, I don't like this. This is unfair. You should give me something for finishing that level. So it's really fun because Deadpool's a perfect character for having that sort of setup. All of that really led to Deadpool being one of the best heroes you can put in a VR helmet, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Deadpool has actually been he's featured in around 8 games before, always voiced by Nolan North. This time he's voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. What has Neil brought to the role that maybe is different or just, embodies the Deadpool persona?
Right. So when we started talking about doing Deadpool, we wanted to have something really unique. We wanted to have our own spin, our own story, our own character. So it needed to feel familiar, but also be absolutely unique. So our choice to go with Neil Patrick Harris was to get that combination of factors. Something that people will go, it feels familiar, but hey, this is a unique spin. You can tell we're more influenced by the comic books. That's on purpose. That's where we come from. That's our source, but we're very, very unique. And I think Neil's doing a great job. I still laugh every day at the lines that he's reading. It's just amazing.
Are there any moments where Neil Patrick Harris Deadpool references Nolan North Deadpool?
So I will say this much. Neil Patrick Harris has broad pop culture knowledge, and he definitely leverages that in the game.
Okay, fair enough. Now, finally, Deadpool VR is coming exclusively to the Meta Quest 3 and 3S. What makes it unable to run on previous Quest headsets?
So really, to make a game of the size and quality that Deadpool is, we need to be on the latest hardware. So going with the Quest 3 and 3S was really the only choice for us. We're really trying to show people the absolutely great capacities of the headset, and that's just the choice that we made at the beginning. It was the right choice, I think.
Awesome. So why should Deadpool fans be super looking forward to Deadpool VR?
So not just Deadpool fans, but people that like VR games or people that just like good games with good action and good story. It's a game that is made to be comfortable for everybody. It's got a great story. It's got replayability. It's got amazing action and gameplay. There's something for everybody. So really the key thing here is whether you're new at VR, you've played VR before, or you're just somebody that likes good games, Deadpool is for you.
Awesome. And do you have a release date yet?
November 18th.
November 18th. Well,
this year.
Oh, this year? This year. Well, I am dead excited to try it out. So, for more about Deadpool VR, stick with us here at IGN.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. The Caped Crusader is known for dropping in when least expected, and sure enough, one of the biggest surprise announcements at Opening Night Live was LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Here to tell us what's new in LEGO Gotham this time around, Jonathan Smith from TT Games. Welcome, and thanks for such a fun surprise.
Yes.
Oh, it was our pleasure.
Now, I think a lot of people, if you tell them a LEGO Batman game is coming out, they think they know what they're in for, because we've had a few of those over the years. But seeing this one in action, it is clearly cribbing a little bit from Rocksteady's Arkham games. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the systems that you've improved the most and what you've taken from the Arkham trilogy?
We're inspired by everything Batman. Decades of films, TV, comics, and games. If you're going to make a game now where you play as Batman, of course you're going to be inspired by the incredible work that our friends and colleagues at Rocksteady did when they brought The Dark Knight to life in that series. So we start with that inspiration, but we have to do new things. We want to do new things. We're a LEGO game. We're going to make sure it's accessible for all players. We're going to put 2 playable characters together to team up against all those bad guys. You can switch between them. They've got different new gadgets. The interplay of the 2 gadgets with the 2 characters gives all kinds of new possibilities. And we really wanted to go further than we've ever gone before in a LEGO game with that combat.
Now, did you reach out to anyone at Rocksteady for development cues, or did you, go like, "Hey guys, this is what we're doing," like just a heads up or anything like that?
Yeah, well, we knew we wanted to make a new LEGO Batman game, and we're lucky enough to be part of a studio organization that includes Rocksteady.
Yeah.
So we shared our work in progress with other studios across Warner Bros. Games, and we were really glad to get their input and feedback. Also from DC as well, who's also part of the same company. We get that direct back and forth. All those suggestions come straight from the team at DC.
So cool.
Now, TT Games has a wonderful track record of just really lovingly getting very silly with beloved IP, and like clearly this one is kind of a mashup of some familiar Batman scenes from drastically different universes. Can you tell us a little bit about how the story is structured, how it all comes together?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the story about? What's the game about?
So we wanted to bring everything together in a story that takes the player on the journey of Bruce Wayne. You start losing your parents, filled with fear. You train with the League of Shadows, you return to Gotham City, you take up this vigilante stance, and over years you expand your Batcave, develop new technology, meet new allies. That's the essential, definitive Batman story across all media, across all the stories. We've brought them all together and incorporated them into this unique LEGO world where anything is possible. We can pull from anywhere, and it makes sense in that spine of a story of progression, the emotional progression of Batman.
I have a follow-up question there. If we're getting the whole origin story, does that mean we're going to see Martha Wayne's pearls falling on the ground in Crime Alley all over again? And if so, what LEGO element are you using for that?
What an interesting question. I know the exact answer to that question, and you will be delighted when we reveal what happens in Crime Alley. But it's these sort of things. This is the joy that we have when we're lucky enough to play in these worlds. We have those images. We look back at the comics, the very first starting stories for the character, the way it's been retold, reinterpreted over the years. We can now look at that and have fun with it.
And you get to do it through, a comedic lens at time. It was also we saw nods to, the hallway scene in the Batman with the lights cutting in and out. So I love that you're working all that in. It seems like so much fun. I was a huge fan of the last Lego Star Wars game.
Good.
And I love the sort of massive open, almost open world environments, right? Like they pretty much were. We're seeing a bit of that here with Arkham City. Like, what's the sort of size and scope of the city here and other worlds and other environments that we can expect?
Yeah. So Gotham is a crucial part of the Batman story. Discovering Gotham is a crucial part of the player's progression through the story campaign. So we've got missions that take place in Gotham and around Gotham, and you'll be free then to explore and discover the secrets of that city as you play through the story. You'll start on Tricorner Island, right at the bottom, the South Island of Gotham, and that actually is the part of the city that we've got for people to play here at Gamescom on the show floor, just a small part of the overall Gotham. But as you then progress, so you'll go onto the huge South Island and discover iconic landmarks like the Great Wayne Tower, Ace Chemicals building, we've got Gotham Zoo, we've got Botanic Gardens, like everything you'd expect, Gotham City Hospital further north, transit systems running through, traffic and pedestrians really bringing the city to life. And the work that the team has put in at street level, on every shop front, Every billboard is a reference to something from the lore, a joke, all brought to life with beautiful Lego models, painstakingly created.
See, I was also a huge fan of Lego City Undercover. So seeing
great
another,
game.
yeah,
Great
seeing
game.
another like open world city game from you guys, again, super happy about all.
You
this.
are going to be so impressed by how far we've moved since then. That is a fantastic game, and it gives you the sense of exploring a city.
Yeah.
But this is Gotham next gen. You know, with a team that did Lego Star Wars has
Amazing.
now taken it to the next level.
Now, talking about little Easter eggs and references, do you have a personal favorite little detail or nod that you got to put in there?
I love that right now, and I've been watching people play the game here at Gamescom. No one I've seen has yet done this. There is a music store, a Lego music store, with album art, beautiful Lego album art, and there is a guitar that you can play just outside the music store. So you get Batman rocking out on the guitar. I love that.
I love it. Is there a copy of Seal's Kiss from a Rose in the window?
Oh, there should be. You're absolutely right. There should be. There is. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to save this one. But there's a great soundtrack moment in this game
Oh my
from
God, I cannot
an
wait.
iconic Batman movie scene.
If you're here at Gamescom, go find the Easter eggs that you can. We've got Batmobiles in this game. We saw a couple
all
of
the
them already.
Batmobiles.
All the Batmobiles.
Yeah.
You can just go ahead and promise all the Batmobiles. That's crazy. Nobody can promise all the Batmobiles.
Well, but that's Lego, because Lego can make anything possible, and we can go wherever we want, and we can have 66, we can have 89, we can have the Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Have you incorporated any other type of bat?
Tumbler, the Batpod, the Batbike. It's all there.
It's got it all.
And that's just for Batman. All the playable characters have got their own vehicles as well.
You mentioned wheeled vehicles. Are we going to see any aerial vehicles or water vehicles?
Glide with the Bat Glider across the streets and rooftops. So that will get you airborne. You can take gusts of, you can build fans that lift you up. You'll fly high above the city using the Bat Glider.
Can you do the catapult thing from Arkham Knight from the...
Yep.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Right on. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga had like 400-something playable characters. That's a bit of a roster. How big are we looking at for this one?
We have focused on Batman, and we've really put detail into not only that character and all his moves, but then the way that he progresses and upgrades. Both his abilities, his skills, his fighting moves upgrade, his gadgets upgrade as well. We've expanded that focus to then build the Bat family, with Jim Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, progressing into Nightwing, Batgirl. All of those characters have got their own gadgets and gear and upgrades as well. So we wanted to make that, if you want, sort of a focused, deeper experience with those characters. I love Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, but by focusing on Bruce Wayne and that story and focusing on that character, and I think adding more depth to what you can do with those characters, we have charted a different path here.
No, as someone who unlocked every in-gen employee in Lego Jurassic Park,
Wow.
I appreciate the
Well
focus. I know. I'm obsessed. You announced Matt Berry is voicing Bane.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just incredible.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's I remember I was watching it and I was like, yep, one of those things I never would have thought to put together. But can you talk about who's voicing Batman?
Yeah, we have Shai Mattison. So he's an actor who's been in various different video games and done some TV as well. But he is our Lego Batman. And what we needed in that performance is someone who could be both the young, angsty Bruce with the Dodge Charger and then progress over years, sort of through Keaton, through into sort of being an older, gruffer, more mature Batman with all these kids running around. He brings that performance out. He's got the gravitas. He's also got the humor and the winks as well.
Yeah, the comedic chops that you're going to need for a Lego game, right? Because you guys are working in a bunch of slapstick stuff, which is, quintessential to the sort of the origins of the character, the 1960s stuff I saw. Where
exactly,
he's
that's
carrying
all
a
works
bomb
in as well. That's right, of course.
Now, James Gunn is currently overseeing the entire DCU. That includes games. Lego stuff isn't really canon, but has he seen this game? If so, what does he think? And has he made any outrageous character demands that he wants to see in the game? Or
so yes, he has seen and played the game. You'll see and hear from him in good time, and we haven't had any outrageous demands. I'd love an outrageous demand. I really would. Those are our favorite kinds of demands.
He's saying he wants to put Batmite in the in the DCU.
Wow,
is Batmite in the game?
So I'm going to give you. I'll give you a limited number of exclusive reveals.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, so we do have a list.
You've used your first
I used
life.
my first one. Hold on, wait.
Yes.
Yes, Batmite confirmed. Okay, so we do have a full list here.
Yes, so we're going to ask you a list of characters that we want to know if they exist as minifigs in the game. You can say yes, no, or no comment.
Okay, I'm going to say no comment to most of them because we've only just revealed this game yesterday.
That's okay.
So I'm going to hold it. We're going to keep some surprises.
So you're saying there's a chance.
But I will confirm what I choose to.
Here we go. Superman.
No.
Okay.
This is Bruce Wayne. This focuses on Bruce Wayne's story.
Great.
Good to know. Harley Quinn.
No comment.
Peacemaker.
No.
Bob the Goon.
No comment. Good pull.
Adam West Batman.
Yes, definitely. Of course. Get that. Look, we've got like 70 different suits for Batman, so all those different kind of outfits for Batman, so they're all in there.
Gotham by Gaslight Batman.
No comment. I'm going to confirm the ones that I really want to confirm.
Okay.
Cowboy Batman.
No comment.
All right. Bat Knight was my next question. We got that one. Terry McGinnis.
No comment. Good pull.
Jason Bateman. I'm kidding.
So,
that's not Batman.
He played Batman once.
I didn't think you were going to ask that one. That is an interesting one.
Oh.
Let's just say that we are alert to everything that has happened with people connected in the Batman universe.
All right.
So there might be a nod for you.
Okay, great. I'll take a nod.
All right. Condiment
Let's
King.
just say that Bruce Wayne has got a business card.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys got the assignment.
Condiment King.
I am thrilled to exclusively reveal the Condiment King is in Lego.
Yes!
Of course he is. It's got
World
everything.
premiere.
I said last night, it's got it all.
Listen,
of course it's got Condiment King.
This is how video game journalism is done. Pay attention, kids.
Asking the hard questions, getting to the truth.
Polka Dot Man, and if so, who voices him, Greg Miller or David Dasmalchian?
Yeah, it's a good question. No comment. You've run out of lies, but keep going because these are good ones.
The nice coat guy from Batman Begins when Bruce Wayne trades the coat.
No, I know.
Okay.
No comment.
Okay.
Last one, David Zaslav.
No comment.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is out in 2026. We cannot wait to play it. It's the game that we all need right now in our lives as Batman fans. Right, Max?
Just not the one we deserve, because we've been very bad pestering you with just silly questions. But very much looking forward to it. We have lots more coverage coming out of Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors, the biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom Cosplay Contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website gamescom.global and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative, Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, The Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
Metal Eden is a fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled sci-fi FPS from Rycon Games, the creators of Ruiner, and published by Deep Silver. Set in a dystopian future, players assume the role of Asuka, a hyper-unit deployed to the orbital city of Mobius on a mission to save humanity by recovering the citizens' cores. Harness your superior agility and acrobatic combat prowess to dash, grapple, and wall-run your way through hordes of enemies. Built in Unreal Engine 5, Metal Eden features 8 unique missions blending the high-octane combat of Doom and the futuristic parkour of Ghost Runner. A free demo is available now across all platforms, giving players access to the first 2 missions and first-hand experience of the game's fast-paced action. Metal Eden launches September 2nd, 2025 on Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. Let's take a look.
Establishing connection. Core Ripper active. Hyper unit is mission go. Give him hell, Hyper.
Sorry about the neighbors. There's always trouble with them. Hyper unit in the flesh. Nexus was not lying about you. You are built on a phantom core. That makes you basically immortal. You, my dear, are forbidden science. I have a proposition for you.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow. Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Replaced is a gorgeous 2.5D action platformer that I've been excited about for years, and hopefully I don't have to wait too long to play it. Here to tell me all about Replaced is Igor Gritze. Hey, what's up, man?
Thanks for having me, and hopefully we can have a meaningful interview right now.
Yes, I'm excited. So, Replaced is like just a stunning looking video game. The 2.5D pixel art, there's all this great lighting and moody atmosphere and effects and stuff like that. How did you all settle on this art style? Because it's honestly, it's one of the most sort of striking looking games I've ever seen.
Well, initially when we started like our first like tries to do this, it was like 2018, I think, and we thought to ourselves what we can do with our limited like capabilities. We cannot do like AAA and stuff, so let's try to do like a cinematic platformer. It should be good. It should be easier. Spoiler alert, it was not. It was you don't see like many of those games like Inside, maybe a Little Nightmares and stuff like this, but those are far in between. And this is for a reason, because like even if the game is fully 3D, it's really difficult to like compose everything in a cinematic way. But we have like, we shot ourselves in the leg with doing like all the pixel art, because to like, you know, do proper camera work, to do justice, so that you don't break the illusion of like sprites being 2D. It's a lot of work. Yura, who is our game director, he does lots of cinematography. He is a total movie freak. So basically, he is like obnoxious regarding all of this stuff. He can spend hours like setting up the proper camera angle, like all the shadows, all the lighting. Yeah. He also like conceptualized all the game, all the characters and stuff. So he's like our art director, he's game director. So yeah, I would say that we did it on a Dark Souls mode here, because we've incorporated 2D and it's even harder. So
I mean, it's one of those games where it's like screenshots don't do it justice, right? Like screenshots are beautiful, but once you see
I hate when I see it on YouTube, because YouTube compression, it hates pixel art, and usually it just like, you know, smashes everything. And whenever I look, like last year on IGN, we also had like a gameplay, how to say it, like showcase. Yeah. And basically, I looked at, man, half of the like art is like smeared because of YouTube compression. Right. And I'm like, whenever you see it live, it looks so much better. And yeah.
I just love how sort of like detailed and lived in the world looks. I mean, like, if you had just been like, oh, we're going to make sort of something that's evocative of like a 16-bit Super Nintendo platformer, right? Or an old Genesis game or something. Yeah. You could have just stopped with like a couple of, you know, planes of scrolling, but you have dynamic camera work coming in. You've got all these details, all this, you know, scratched up sort of used future effect. So I want to talk a little bit about the setting. This is taking place in like an alternate 1980s America, right?
Basically, what in our world, everything revolves around biotransplantation and bioengineering. Everything went horribly wrong in America in the 40s, where basically instead of bombing Japan, America bombed itself.
Oh wow!
And this gave a huge push towards like transplantation and like healthcare and stuff. But like in all like cyberpunk stories, everything goes like to crap like really fast. So initially, like donorship was like very honorable and very like it gave you great like rewards, like money and stuff. But later down the line, it became more and more dystopian. And eventually, like there appeared a whole like category of people called disposals. Basically, corporations took their organs, removed it from them, and just disposed of them and throw them outside of the city. We have like main location, which is Phoenix City. It's surrounded by a wall. Inside of Phoenix City, like upper class citizens live. But whenever like corporations get to you, they take your organ and they dispose of you. So basically, you play as Reach, who is like an AI trapped in the body of his creator. And basically, Reach is he's the root of the problem. He's an AI whose main goal is to find best donors and best recipients. So you kind of started like as a very questionable entity. But whole game is about AI realizing like what it's like to be a human. Right. So initially it's like, oh my God, I'm inside of a body. I'm mortal right now. So I want to get back to my digital self. But it's like quite a challenge because corporation doesn't give a damn who you are. They just wanted to like put it under the rug and dispose of you. So this is where all the story happens. And overall, it's we try to answer a question what it's like to be human. So
that is awesome. Like I did not expect that much. Like that is some great, excellent world building there. Like you guys really got in with the details.
Yeah, we also like our narrative team also does a lot of job in like providing all like the additional stuff that not all players will find, but if somebody like is willing to explore the game, they can like look for like lore items. They can like listen to all those flavor monologues of characters and to learn more about the world, because like to our world it's more than just the US. There are like other stuff happening in the world, but basically we are like this US centric, and being like we come from Eastern Europe, so our perception of America is more like from movies, from the VHS tapes from the 80s and 90s. So we had to do a lot of like research work to do it justice, and well, I hope we managed. And yeah, if players want to learn more, they can learn more. Of course, we don't push it down their throats.
Yeah, but it's there if they want it. That, yeah, that's again excellent world building. You mentioned some of the sort of vague details about some of the influences. I want to pull on that a little bit because, like, I think we grew up watching a lot of the same stuff, and a lot of it is sort of dystopian sci-fi, action movies and stuff like that. What were some of the sort of like books and movies, video games, whatever that made it into this sort of like the influence pile?
When it started, like in 2018. I think it was 1 year since the release of Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing movie. We are big fans of this as well as the original movie.
Yeah.
Also, there was like a much lesser known movie by, I think it's Australian company called Upgrade. It's about like also about an AI trapped inside a human body.
Yeah, I've seen Upgrade. I love it.
Yeah, and also it's an inspiration for our combat system because of how our character moves in a sort of like unnatural way to a human, because he can pass human body's limits, and that's why basically he's like that. In terms of games, our holy Bible, I think, is Inside from Playdead, because it's like a top-notch cinematic platformer. Even though their story is not so like spoken, it's more like a minimalistic. But it's like a textbook for how you should build it. But as well, like as we learned ourselves, it's very, very difficult and very expensive to make this kind of game. And of course, like visual style, there is an elephant in the room. This is like we were heavily inspired by The Last Night.
Yeah.
They have like a gorgeous art style. It heavily inspired us, and we thought that this is a really great look. This is a really great take on this retro stuff. So we tried to do it our own, and during the game development, I think we've reimagined our art style several times. It's less noticeable for people from the outside, but basically there were a lot of problems that we had to resolve. But I think most likely for us, it's those cinematic platformers, as well as like the legacy platformers, like in a Flashback or Another World.
Yeah,
but unfortunately those wouldn't work today because of their nature, and players today, they expect a bit of different styles.
A little bit quicker, yeah.
Yeah, so we try to incorporate stuff like combat system, which was heavily inspired by Batman Arkham series. We try to incorporate it in 2D. Which is like...
I like that a lot. So I was going to ask you about the combat, because I can see the sort of like the magnetism that the protagonist has towards the enemies and snapping from thing to thing. You've got this Blade Runner style pistol, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like it's got a meter that charges up.
It's basically both a pistol and a police baton. So it has like a kinetic energy like generator inside. So whenever you beat the crap out of enemies, you also charge the gun. But you cannot overuse it, so you have to shoot once a while. And this was also one of the main plot devices for the story, like the gun, and the thing that actually Reach can possess this gun, because it has a biosensor which is locked to, and only police officers and Phoenix Corporation can use it. So this is a major plot device, but those are spoilers, so this is one other time.
It's cool. I really appreciate, you mentioned earlier some of the camera work. You get to see it a lot during the combat, right? It's there was a scene in one of the clips I watched from you guys where the protagonist gets hit, the camera spins completely upside down. It's just like that sort of dynamic stuff that you wouldn't necessarily necessarily expect from like a classic 16-bit platformer that you guys get to experiment with here.
Yes, and basically this is one of our main like selling points, but as well this is our curse because we have no, but don't quote me on that, camera cuts in the game. So basically everything has to be seamless. So
right.
the transition from gameplay to like cutscene and stuff. So basically this is where a lot of things can break immersion. So it takes a lot of effort to do the proper camera work, do the proper like setup for this, and it's a lot of trial and error. And because like it's not like a traditional movie, but it's not like a very traditional video game itself. So we have nobody to ask. Right. About that, so we have to experiment with that, and sometimes we can like borrow stuff from other great minds in the industry, but there is a lot of experimentation involved.
You guys have been working on this game for a long time. There was obviously some skepticism when we're so used to now, like modern gamers, where like a game gets announced and we wait years and years and years to find out more. What were like, I guess, some of the challenges that you faced getting to where you are in development now?
Well, initially I would say that during first several years of development, it was mostly like a prototyping and exploring the opportunity. I think serious development started somewhere like in 2020. And after that, there were a lot of challenges, like you name it. That we have to understand what it's like to run our own company. This is like our first personal project. And then we have to understand like what it takes to create a game in terms of like combining all those systems together, financing for all of this, and also like. An elephant in the room is like the war in our region. Yeah. We are not from Ukraine ourselves. We have like one team member who is in Ukraine. Right now he's drafted in Ukrainian armed forces, unfortunately. So we do not claim to be like the victims here, but at the same time our region is very unstable. So that's why we have to relocate most of our team. Yeah, it halted our development on a big scale, and we still had to continue the development because like money is running out, so we have to be mindful. This is a business. Yeah. Even though this is an art, we still have to be mindful that we have to pay people for them to provide to their families. So yeah.
Well, I'm really happy where the game is right now. It looks really gorgeous. You guys are very clearly putting in a lot of work on it. So congratulations, and I can't wait to play it. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
That is Replaced. It looks awesome. Hopefully we'll all get to play it soon. But until then, we've got plenty more Gamescom on IGN coming up very soon, so stick around. Oh, hi. Coming up next on Gamescom Studio, we've got a handful of new trailers, a look at what's coming down the assembly line in Satisfactory, the narrative horror by Sweet Carol, the cozy life sim Sarsand Island, and stylized rock climbing game Cairn. Take a look.
You and I will never be apart.
Where did this letter come from? That would only confirm the other girl's suspicions about Miss Carroll's potential elopement.
But don't you understand, Miss Hinman? If that was the case, what would be the point of burning this letter? It's already been several weeks since Carol left. And then, that mysterious boy.
The princess. Were you even able to stop time?
Let us be carried by the wind.
that's another day of Gamescom Studio in the books, but don't worry, we'll be back.
Join us tomorrow for the Gamescom Award Show, where we'll be celebrating the best games of the show, giving out some trophies to developers and giving out a whole lot of merch to the crowd. So if you're here at Gamescom, come join us in Hall 7.
Just keep an eye out for the giant Gamescom robot and the ripped Italian guy who's like suplexing Yoshis on the stage. You can't miss it. Speaking of things that can't be missed, on Saturday we'll be back with more new gameplay trailers and developer interviews.
You can expect to see Dying Light, The Beast, Silent Hill F, High on Life 2, just to name a couple. And remember, if anything you see here on Gamescom Studio gets your attention, be sure to wishlist it on the official Gamescom Steam event.
While we've got you, we wanted to shout out Playing for the Planet. It's an alliance of game studios, publishers, and industry organizations facilitated by the United Nations Environmental Program. The alliance supports its members, reducing their carbon footprint, and inspires players around the world to do their part for the planet.
Each year, the Alliance runs the Green Game Jam, where studios create games that let players engage with environmental topics. This year's jam focuses on nature and has already raised over $275,000 for some great causes and secured 1.3 million square meters of natural habitat for protection.
If you're here at Gamescom, you can show your support by taking part in Playing for the Planet's Epics Quest, which can also score you some awesome digital rewards, including Steam codes for Little Nightmares 1 and 2, Sonic Mania, as well as subscriptions to PC Game Pass, all courtesy of Playing for the Planet's participating members.
If you're watching from home, you can help by participating in the All In for Nature campaign. Find out more by heading to playingfortheplanet.org or scanning the on-screen QR code. And now from all of us to all of you, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Kind of done like a paper theatre. There's kind of numbers hidden within those stages, which relate to something else. So I've only given you half of the secret there.
Oh, okay.